Hey everybody, this is True Power is Mine, and this is TPIM SR Live. Do you see the news, folks? Trump win. Campaign did not collude. The real news came out on March 22nd, 2019, the year of our Lord. Today's date is March 24th, 2019, the year of our Lord, and I just want to speak on this. Take off to 2019, and you have 322. 322 is the number of skull and bones. The message was sent and received. No conclusion. Their man is in. Now, what I want to do, there we go, is explain what this was all about. Now that it's all over and said and done, and you know Trumpy's going nowhere, what does he have now that he didn't have before? A list of everybody. Oh, get him out. So if he wants to go straight dictator now, he has the list. He has all the names. He can round up everybody. But Trump really isn't the real story here. Excuse me. The real story is that these secret societies are still able to manipulate the strings. What's up, Brother Al? Welcome to the show, brother. I'm glad my audio's back on, and, obviously, moving forward, I'm just going to continue on. Now, Pharaoh grabs where it gets DNA result linking him to Ramses III. This is what cracks me up, man. Everybody always still looking to the past, ancient glory, to validate who they are right now. And this is right here. Hopefully you guys can see this. You can see it, but not too well. Hold on. There. Barbara Streisand. Let's just let you know how sick these people are, man. This chick straight up say, whatever happened at Michael's is not bad. These people still got married. They're still alive. But the shame of someone running up in them, they just have to get over. And it's totally cool for this big nose freak to say. Now, I never really was a fan of Barbra Streisand. Never really heard an album of hers, really even a song. But I think that's some foul shit to say. Those young boys, even if the parents were incompetent, and maybe even capable or culpable, by putting their kid in old boy's house at night alone, unattended, but Michael should have said no. But then I was talking to a buddy of mine, and from the grapevine I heard that it might have been impossible for Michael Jackson to have penetrated the young lads. In other words, he might have did some sort of manual or oral thing on these kids, because apparently Mr. Michael is a eunuch. That's why he never had any natural kids. That was just a story I heard. And it kind of makes sense. That's why he can sing so high and all that good stuff. Somewhat nasty if you ask me, but I can see them cutting his balls off so that he can maintain his high pitch range and all that stuff. I mean, to give up your balls for music, geez, that's dedication on a totally different level. I mean, I like art just as much as the next guy or gal, but I'm not willing to give up my balls for art, you see. But once again, when we're dealing with these artists, anything and everything is a possibility, remember? They would do anything, quite literally anything. Even this old skank coming back for rehashing. Madonna. Who wants to see some old dried up 60-year-old chick wagging her nasty flat behind up there on stage? Who really wants to see that? Oh, about a million or so idiots. And you know another thing, speaking of idiotic stuff, trivia question. What was Martin Luther King's real name? It wasn't Martin Luther King Jr., by the way, but what's his real name? Dun 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 dun. She eats a baby and she has the strength again. She's a fucking vampire, brother. But Martin Luther King's real name is Michael King. To show you that everything's debased and everything's a game. After Martin Luther King, aka Michael King, died, Masons said that he was a Mason on sight. They declared him a Mason. Now, what Brother Owl is alluding to, and we all know this to be true, a lot of celebrities in that dabble with consuming human body parts, drinking blood, things of that nature, just to, I guess, get the energy or the endorphins in these products. I find it rather disgusting and disturbing myself. You know, cannibalistic actors on stage singing demonic melodies to lull the people to sleep. Sounds like something out of a creepy Stephen King's novel, but yet it's our reality collectively. Banks forced to offer currency. Anti-British rally draws millions of protesters. I bet it does. See, once these people realize these savages done fooled them and this nationalist nonsense, really, they missed it by like 80 years or so because everything's too tied in. Once you start going back to the old ways, then literally you have to go back to the old ways. Ain't no one trying to do all that. Nobody wants to use a rotary phone. Nobody wants to, that's because without trade, that's what you're going to get. All of these smartphones you're hearing me on tonight, thank China, thank Africa, Kemet, for providing the rare earth elements. You see, the reason why all this has to come to be is because they have the American populace, the United States populace, full, for one, that we live in a democracy and not a republic. Because if we lived in a republic, there would be no need for interest groups, because no groups, hey, what's up, brother Nick? Welcome to the show. No group would be oppressed to begin with, because it would all be protected under the law. But seeing how that's not the case, interest groups are allowed to run rampant. You see, as long as you have money, here's the deal. As long as you have money, you can get your kid into the good school. As long as you have money, you can drink and drive and just pay a regent's head and go on about your business. As long as you have money, one can almost argue you can do damn near anything, like fly on a Lolita Express and there's no consequence. As long as you have money. Now, a lot of people don't want to realize this. Everyone throwing up devil horns in the pictures. Yes, listen. When he's doing this, he's not doing that by chance. He's not doing that by chance. He's letting everybody know what time it is. You know, I was talking earlier, and Brother Albert, I believe you was there on the show when I was talking about how these guys are more loyal to Satan than they're loyal to anything. That's why rappers and football players and all these people in the limelight are never going to come together. For one, they really don't have the money like you think. And for two, they don't have the interest like you think. This dude is not worried about all the people that digested his poisonous music and end up with unfortunate ends, mainly gunned down in the street like dogs. He doesn't care. You're right, Brother Nick. Masonry has a lot to do with it. See, the thing about it, when you join these fraternities or fraternities rather, or organizations or secret societies. Basically, what you're saying is this group is more to me than anything. This group means everything. And the group rewards them. It's not like they're not getting reward. That's why when we try to put some grassroots thing together, people will think, well, we're going to come up. But sometimes that's not the case because there's no finance there. There's no money. And that's why they often just fall to the wayside. Because in 20 years, no matter what we're talking right now, and things are still grinding on, they're not going to hear this message. I mean, not necessarily this message on this show, but the messages that are going out now, especially the racially charged one, because they're not going to see a benefit into going down that road. What, you're going to end up broke, eating out of a trash can like many activists become, or dead, or whatever the case may be? Because if you guys don't realize this, Skull and Bones, Illuminati, the global bankers, all these people in the next 20 years, all these people, man, Brother Nick, Brother Albert, they got resources. They've had resources. So no matter who is running their little organization, doesn't matter because there's so much backlog money that they can weather all this. But all you new money folks and all you no money folks, you guys don't have nothing coming unless you truly unite. Truly unite for common cause and purpose, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. And demand dignity for all, liberty for all, freedom for all. And that demand, and then using economic strategies such as striking or boycotting, or simply just pulling together votes and electing people at the grassroots level, and then take on the national challenge, well, there's no hope, yo. Because when God comes back, he's not hearing nationality this. He's only hearing, do you want to serve or do you not? And if he doesn't come back, then that means this is going to continue to grind on, and the people running the show are going to still fabricate their ideology as being divine. Either you worship them and eat, or you don't. That's why it's so important for us to realize our roles in this thing. When you go to work, are you working to live, or are you living to work? I was just looking at Disney Paris attack, false alarm sparks stampede. People are scared, guys. People are fearful, gals. People are beside themselves psychologically because they have no clarity of purpose. They're merely grazing and consuming in oblivion. Most people are not going to hear the message on this particular show because they don't want to know about Skull and Bones. They don't want to know about the IMF. They don't want to know about IG Farben. They don't want to know about the international global banking cartels, mafias. They don't want to hear all this. Did you hear about HR 1242? Let's check it out. Let's see what HR 1242 is. HR 1242. Okay, this measure has not been amended since it's passed the House May 2017. This bill will establish the 400-year of African American History Commission to develop and carry out activities throughout the United States to commemorate the 40th anniversary of, more than likely, slavery. They don't want the truth. They all connected from the Greeks to Alice Crowley's period. Yes, they are. You know the reason why? It's because they believe in magic. They've been to the secret little rituals. They've seen the levitation without strings. They've seen the igniting of fire without electricities or any type of means. And they feel that they're running on something. They see the wealth being generated by the machine they serve. They understand the pain and sorrow that most people who try to be righteous have to be under and endure because of what they're doing behind the scenes. They are aware of it, even if they aren't, basically not all knowing the whole plan. In their little compartment, their little unit that they're working in, they know enough of it to understand that it's not for the betterment of humanity. What most of their projects are, from the biological agents to developing more deadlier weapons. We have to understand right now that our silence, our lack of holding anyone accountable other than ourselves, because a lot of people are so quick to point the finger at the people themselves, say that we get what we have coming. What does, back to Kanye saying slavery was a choice? Okay, Nick, this goes back to that whole string of a thought talking about, during slavery they treated you good because you were property, and they gave you a good religion because of Jesus saving your soul, and master wasn't really that bad. That's what all that goes back to. Like, you have a choice. If I'm having a knife to your throat and I say, Nick, you're gonna pick my tomatoes when they ripen or die, that ain't much of a choice. And it's really offensive that people would actually say such a thing and get away with it as if they're saying something. Oh yeah, slavery wasn't bad at all, guys. It was a straight up choice. Oh, here, Carol City. We need Mark from High. We need to do our own research, Carol City. And welcome to the show, brother. We need to do our own research. Mark ain't saying nothing that's classified. He's not saying nothing that's right out in the open for us to digest. We just have to come up with the correct answers to ask. That's all it is. We lack a couple things. One, for the most part, the people lack the drive to actually research the things that pertain to their own lives. The laws of the land that they live in it, or the county, or the city, or the village. They lack that understanding of how we collectively got to this point in human history. And then the third, and this is the most important part, they lack the understanding of the entities that are poisoning the food, poisoning the water, poisoning the air, poisoning their very bodies to make them sick. Hey, Sister CJ, welcome to the show. Yes, Mr. Hayes was a good show. I thought it was an excellent show. I'm going to have him back on. As to Professor Short, Judge Joe, I got a nice little lineup coming up. I've been out for a few days with the flu. All I've been hearing about is Mueller's report. Trump's fans are celebrating. Okay, Carol, let's explain it, though, Carol, because you wasn't here earlier when I broke it down. What day did the report come out that it was a done deal? It was March 22nd. Yes, I'm trying to get Dr. Fuller on as well. March 22nd, when you break it down, is 3/22, 2019. Take off 2019 because they don't believe in no Lord. So therefore, you have 3/22, which is the number of skull and bones. Hey, Trub, welcome to the show. Glad you made it. The thing is, Skull and Bone is sending us a collective message. They could have dropped that any day, but they purposefully dropped it on 3/22. It's like, yo, their man is in, and there ain't nothing y'all can say or do about it. There is no collusion. There is none of this. There is none of that. But the important thing is, Trump now has a list of all the naysayers that was rolling on that funny stuff. So if he wants to go total dictatorial now, he has a list to round up folks. Yeah, well, yeah, that is today. All I'm saying is, let's not lose sight. Trump is in the office for one reason. And anyone can say what they will, but He's in the office because a lot of fellow citizens agree with him. And a lot of citizens who could potentially vote against him are not even on this earth due to abortions. And then others aren't on this earth due to murders. Didn't Mark from Anaheim say John Kerry, member of S&B, was to take out Trump from office? He said this would happen on a second interview with you. John Kerry, I don't remember him saying that John Kerry was going to do anything of any type of significance. Only thing he said was that Trump was probably going to issue, and this was back in January, or before January, a state of emergency. He tried to warn us. Well, I know that Kelly is skull and bones, but I'm telling you, skull and bones is more than just that little pissy ass fraternity up there. At Yale, I believe. They're an international interest group, a Luciferian asset, deacons of Satan. And that's what it's about, man. It's still just about light versus darkness. It's still only about wanting to be a servant of God or wanting to serve yourself. They're scared weenies. Well, it's time to put these weenies to the fire. Cook them up. Feed them to the dogs. Hot dog. Now, the thing is, let's go in here and let me show you the other side. Let me show you the other side of the news. U.S. officials going to China to talk trade deal. I wonder why. 2 years after Trump's tax cut, corporate revenues plummet. Oh, I wonder why. They tell us different names to elude the sleeping folks, but if you're awake, it's front page news. Absolutely. Pelosi will reject Mueller's briefing being classified. See, if the Democrats were serious about shit, all they would have to do is pump Jeffrey Epstein, sacrifice Clinton for being the freak he is, and then it would expose Trump for, potential wrongdoings there. But they're leaving that all alone because they're all dirty in it. You see. And the thing is, the U.S. recession indicators flashing red. I kept on telling you for the past 2 weeks, watch the market, watch the market. And it's been kind of wobbly. Oh, China's beachhead in Europe. Let's check that out. Because I'm thinking, now this isn't confirmed by nobody. This is just me putting together a couple of angles. But I can really foresee the UE, Russia and China, making the axis of power, the triangle of dominance, and just wiping out the rest of the world. So, okay, this is let's see what beachhead China's making in Europe. For 6 years, the U.S. and Europe has been fixated on Russia as their grievous geopolitical threat. All the while, China has been building up its massive global infrastructure projects known as the One Belt, One Road initiative. Now Beijing and its commercial aims seems much more of a menace. See, now they're going to act like they didn't know what was going on. Watch not what. Was something crazy going down Monday? Someone will disappear since the hearing's over. You know that, brother? You're probably right. Carroll City. Fucking pissed, man. I have to pay $5,000 to the IRS on the salary combined of $79,000. Me and the wife are struggling now. I thought we were the forgotten men, according to Trump. No, they're not going to forget that cash in your pocket, brother. And I'm sorry to hear that you and your wife struggling, man. You seem like good folks, and that's just wrong. Why do the people who work the hardest pay the most? Why do the people who have the least money pay the most? Why? It's called economic slavery. It's called you will be at that workstation and you will have a smile on your face or you will starve. And when the chip comes out, brothers and sisters, I mean, I'm telling you, it's not that long away, but when the chip comes out, you will see with your own eyes who's standing on what I'm talking about and who's flopping in the wind. Because once those hunger pains starts hitting, and you know all you got to do is run over there to the courthouse and get injected or wherever, you're going to see. I know you guys think Bernie Sanders is a joke. This is why I support him. Both Dems and Jim hates him. Hey, Brother Ward, welcome to the show, brother. Carroll City, it's not so much I think Bernie Sanders is a joke. It's the fact I know Bernie Sanders is for his folks. Bernie Sanders does not give two smacks about us. He really doesn't. And this is even irregardless to his reparation statements. Just look at what Barney is. Just look at who he is and what he's about. We gotta stop being so doggone rose-colored glasses. Oh, this person's gonna do the right thing, by God. No, we need to start doing the right thing. We need to start setting up the network for ourselves, irregardless to political advancement or not, so that we have our own fallback. We have our own network. We have our own backbone that we can grow flesh on and make something, make a true movement. That's what we need. We can't continue to look towards the same leadership and expect different results. That's insanity. And by the way many of us act, we are insane. Now, we know that the Republican Party was a party of abolition, but now look at it. It's a party of predation. It's a party of bigotry. It's a party of misogyny. It's a party of racism. And the Democrats, who were founded on the slave mentality, we come to find out it's the party of the ungodly. It's the party of abortion. It's the party of homosexuality. It's the party of perversion in all of its forms, from fiscal responsibility to social behavior. I'm all in. Bernie's taxing the rich. Who's those fascists? Bernie is the rich, Carol. He doesn't care. He's just doing that so it looks like he's something different. There is not one choice you have that isn't Luciferian. There is not one choice you have that isn't some skeletons, some real skeletons in their closets. You don't get to that level, sir, without doing those things. Now, we can go down this road if you want to. Yes, Bernie's going to be for us, brother. Bernie, feel the burn, Bernie. But the reality is, after all the chanting and rhetoric goes away, it's going to be bend on over and take it like a citizen you are. Sister Hunt's in the house. Welcome to the show. I'm glad the Most High woke you up and kept you safe today so you can join us tonight. Look, my brother Al said he will be the next riding through Texas in a convertible if he do. You got that right. I am not joking. I'm not playing around, folks, when I say the new liberal world order will succeed. That's what it is. And it's going to be an ungodly order. It's going to be a racist, bigoted order. And it's going to be an anti-people that don't want to take the chip order. Bernie believes $15 an hour will make things better for all. What a joke. The only thing that will make things better for all is everyone has a base income where you don't have to necessarily deal with racist pricks. There will always be people wanting to work in factories and work in general. Then you will have people who are actually wanting to do the job out of the need to want to work versus people just doing the job out of the need to want to eat. The latter is actually precursor to slavery. I have faith in humanity. brothers and sisters. I know people in at their core want to work hard. They want to achieve and they want to build, but they have to have a safety net so it's possible. We need to stop acting as if there's not terrorists, and what I mean by racial terrorists, people who will foul up other people who don't look like them in the workplace. We have to stop lying and acting as if that does not exist. And once we come to that real conversation and we can openly say, yes, this is how these people are, now we can make considerations. How do we change? Because right now, when you look at, and I'm not bashing the young folks, because a lot of young folks are up in the house reading books and not out here on the streets. I'm talking about the ones out here on the streets. When you look at the madness that went down during spring break in Florida, and you saw the violence, you saw the young men smacking the women around as if they were men too, I want you to see what you're really seeing. You're seeing the effects of boys and girls being taught, oh, girls are just as good as boys. Boys are just as good as girls. There is no difference, but there is a difference when you see the video and you see the girl gets up in the brother's face and gets knocked the hell out. Who is the Smedley butler to Trump? I'm not for sure which is his beloved general, Carol. We can't be accountable for them. We just either move forward and leave them behind or get caught up trying to help them the way we go down. Brother Nick, clarity and rational coming through. You're right. That's why I don't really bother with talking about those issues like that. For one, it makes people look bad. I brought it up as an illustration right now, just so that we stay focused on the future. Because I'm telling you, the president's going to get hit hard here in the next few. June 15th, man, if not sooner. Now, you got to understand, these savages, we may try to leave them behind, but once they see our networks is popping, they're going to want to try to come. They're going to want to try to have a seat at the table. And when you try to say respectfully no, they may try to do a New Zealand usher move. I'm talking about hypothetically, not literally. Because as soon as things starts popping, as soon as they see, oh my God, these people are really putting this thing together, on something they want to get their knapsack and try to run up in something so they can espouse their anti-human rhetoric. So you're never going to hear me say abortion's cool. You're never going to hear me say rape is cool. You're never going to hear me say that mistreating women and children is cool. And you dang sure ain't going to ever hear me saying killing your brother's cool. Because that's all backwards. That is nothing but hell on earth. You know what's cool? It's giving a person a hand up. It's giving them something and don't expect nothing in return so that they can do what they need to do. You know what's cool? It's advocating everyone being free. Everyone attaining this mythical state of being called freedom. That's cool. You know what else is cool? It's two people, man and woman, coming together for common cause and purpose to love each other and build a family unit. That's what's cool. But all this foolishness out there will have you believe that's whack. I ain't gonna sit there with no old lady. I'm gonna be a MGTOW. I'm gonna do my thing. And so what if you get herpes all around your face? So what if you catch HIV? So what if you get syphilis? You're living for the now. Huh. Dude, I'm not suicidal like that. I live for a brighter future. I live for a future where we can praise and honor the Most High in the way we see fit, where we can actually have a piece of land and work that land or not. I do not know your pain and struggle, Brother Kane. They're making it harder on God-married families. If you get a man or a woman, if you're a woman, they will give you a bar of gold. Yep. You see, Brother Carol, and your beautiful wife there. What you guys represent is the basis of the universe. A man and a woman coming together. This is why I truly believe what God says when two come together in his name, he's there. Because when you two come together, you potentially have the ability to create life, man. You two come, boom, and God's in the midst of that. He's right there with you, and that what brings the life into the baby. That is a threat. See, they want you all twisted. They want you having sex without any fruit, because you got to look at sex like a tree, and these babies are the fruit of said tree. Now, I know there's some women that are barren. There are some men that are infertile. Still doesn't mean you can't enjoy the benefits of marriage without the children. And in all actuality, you could become the best foster care parents potentially, because you would give out a loving vibe, both feminine and masculine, to a child. So we've been living backwards for so long, everyone thinks it's normal and they don't question it. Yep, that's true. People think it's normal for girls to, run around in Daisy Dukes. People think it's normal for guys to run around and God knows what capris, dresses. It doesn't matter nowadays. People think it's normal for, and this is the kicker, for men to want to marry other men and women to want to marry other women. They think it's normal. This is why I moved to Mississippi, because I cannot survive on my pension in Maryland. And I bet, brother. The reason I listen to Mark from Anaheim is because everyone else is just bullshit. Seriously, Mark has taken my mind to a stronger location. I am more aware now, and now when I watch movies, I always look for signs. Nobody asks enough questions, not even in religion. You better not ask no question in religion, brother Mental. Brother War, you better. You better not. You just take that blind faith or get beat up or worse. Hold on one second. I gotta turn on Bob the Train back here. Hold on. Be right back. did I miss? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I could have called Dr. Short or... I don't know, Brother Ron. Or we just can have our chat. You know, let's look at more. Recording reveals oil industry exec laughing at Trump's access. I don't even know what that supposed to mean, but okay. Priest attacked during service in Canada. It doesn't shock me. Police training. Cortez staff to deal with threats. Blah, blah, blah. New logo implies White House Trump property. Wow. Okay, and today in the free market, GOP news. Among economists, Trump's next Fed appointment is a joke. And Mueller found no Trump-Russian coordination. Okay, so here's the skivvy, guys. If you don't know, here you're gonna know. China has been pushed to the position that it's in right now for reasons of the war. You have to have a proper enemy to fight. Why not the Chinese? And it's sort of like what John Mueller said, the Russians and the United States government has really never been enemies. They played one on TV because the money was flowing right. To all these young people that didn't know the play, became ideological about the shit, and now it's where it is now. Oh, isn't that cute? School bus avoids squirrel, crashes into house. Gotta save the animals. You know how many animals would really be saved? And how many humans could possibly be fed if we went to a vegan diet? I mean, think about it. The cows eat the grain to get fat, and then we eat the cows for so-called protein. Doesn't really make sense. You know, your body makes its own protein. You just have to have the right fuel. But nobody wants to talk about these things. Things that can really set people free and free from sickness and free from chronic diseases. My question is, a drug orangutan found in the airline luggage. Who put the orangutan doped up in the luggage? The caliphate ends. Where's the leader in Baghdad? Infant dies after parents circumcises him at home. Now, what kind of sick parent would circumcise their own baby boy at home? See, this is the type of madness I'm talking about. Family against billionaires. Battle over Zuckerberg's Hawaii estate. Just because you have money don't mean that the real rich want you around them. Zuckerberg, all those people, they're not rich, yeah. They're not wealthy. They're to the true wealthy, they just black folk rich. Like I said, there are some people out there that can do disastrous financial deal after disastrous financial deal, and they still have more money to go back and get. What to draw your attention away from something bigger? It's always, brother. They're always trying to draw you away from God. That's what's the bigger. That's the biggest deal in the universe is God. And that's why they keep on throwing up all this blinkering, all this. Oh, yeah. You know, this dude's dead. She's halfway dead. And you're supposed to look up to these people as if they're somebody. None of these fools can save themselves. This chick's dead. He's dead. She's dead. He's dead. She's dead already. You know, I mean, not literally already. They dead. She's going to be dead. He's going to be dead. She's going to be dead. All these people are walking skeletons. Talking crazy. Talking blasphemous. But people believe because they got a couple of baubles and trinket and glitter and a couple of dollars and nickels to run together, there's something special. Man, look at this. if he doesn't eat or drink water or breathe air, he's going to die right now. Same thing with Miss Mays over here. Same thing with these two and her. There is nothing divine about these folks, even in their character. And there's nothing holy about these people. Because we know who they serve, man. He's letting you know who he serves straight to your face. I just get so upset because I know little brothers. Not that they listen to his babies in particular, but they try to emulate and try to play out these scenarios that didn't go too good for them. The lucky ones are in jail. The unlucky ones are in the grave. Man, this is the end of flu season has not been this bad in the last 2 decades because the flu's mutating. They're snorting cocaine and doctor. Hey, Truck, I hear you. Listen, if you don't think there's been cocaine up this dude's nose, you're tripping. If you don't think this chick's done some coke, you're tripping. He's probably done some. She's probably done some. I know these two done some. These two probably done some. You know what I'm saying? We all know the monkey here, he's fucked up on some drug. You know, if you work for Big Pharma, Nick, and I was your unit commander or unit boss, and I was like, Brother Nick, we're having bad profits. We need you to go into the lab, sir, and do what you do, and then we'll release it on an airline. You know, the enclosed-in situation, and then they'll just spread it out. You don't think the insurance companies would ever do a scenario like that? Not insurance, Big Pharma. Design something. Oh, it's harmless, you know, but we got the cure, or at least the treatment. All the celebrities and actors and models all sold out, all soulless beings. Yes, they are. They get drunk and high every day. You know they do, Truck. You know they do. How else, Truck, can you live with yourself after doing some nasty things? What if you was one of those people that, you know, you go into the producer and you think he's going to unzip his pants, but he calls out a dog or something, and he makes you do things to the animal, and the animal do things to you? How do you think you're going to deal with that shame? How can you go up on that stage and hold your head up high if you're not high? See, that's what these people are dealing with. That's what no one wants to talk about. The nasty, defiled, debased things they got to do to get to where they're at, to get to in front of those kids crying, oh, I want to be just like you. Really? Do you know what this person does to get to where they're at? You want to be like that? No wonder a lot of these young boys around here making up songs, gay rap songs and stuff, how they blow off other brothers. No wonder they're doing that. Because they're putting a link between that behavior and money. And with that fool coming out on the Oscar in the dress, one man argued maybe they're right. Maybe these young boys have to do this old crazy stuff to get a little paper. But I'm telling you, that little paper is not worth your dignity. That little bit of paper is not worth your conscience. Nor is the so-called recognition. Because it's all fake. It's all a lie. People will not give you recognition for what you truly are. They're giving you recognition for what they believe you to be. And there is a huge difference. That's what Dick Gregory said was the reason that the Malaysian flight went down, because they had the patents for it. Oh, for the cure for AIDS. They covered up for Trump because the whole case would have unraveled the whole federal government. Probably right, Brother Murder. Now, this is one thing I would totally agree with Mark. Before Trump came to office, he had access to all those high, fancy hotels and casinos where people were going up in there getting drunk, bringing their secretaries instead of their wives, doing a couple things up in them rooms, and they probably were recorded, both audio and visual. It should really turn our collective stomachs to know that our so-called leaders are some of the most perverse individuals on the planet. It should really turn our stomachs that our so-called leaders have no love for us, already sold out to special interests, and already will toe the line. It should turn our stomachs. But it doesn't. Because too many of us are too debased. Oh, it's okay that Bill Clinton did that with money. Any man will do that. The worst of us are the best of the Lucifer. Oh, gosh. You're so right, Murder. And Brother Nick. Lucifer loves disobedience. This world loves disobedience. This world loves perversion. Lucifer loves perversion. This world loves confusion. Lucifer loves confusion. Just look at it. It links up. This isn't no guessing game. This isn't no, oh my God, we just don't have the answer. It's right in front of our face. Whenever your elected leaders, and this might not apply in your particular state, but whenever your state elected leader says it's okay to kill a baby after it's born, something's wrong, folks. Something is definitely off. When you have state leaders giving personhoods to bodies of water, whereas there's a group of people collectively in this country that can't even get personhood as a group, something's off. They have a TV show called, yeah, I've heard of it. You know, and it goes along with the whole gag. You know, God, the Most High, can never come and save the planet. He can never come and save the world. It's always got to be some hacker or some superhero or the devil himself. Take God word and turn it backwards. The mission was never to destroy the world physically, but to destroy the image of God had for the world. Absolutely. We are living in the age of pan. Pan equals pandemonium. We are also living in the age of good living. If our food wasn't so debased, if our food wasn't so GMO, if the potatoes didn't have hormones in them that will later be known to mess us up, we'd be living in the land of easy living. You do realize a lot of our fruits and vegetables, the other parts of the world will not allow us to export them in because people don't want to eat our GMO. They don't want to eat this phony food that we consume. You think about all the little fast food restaurants open right now as we speak. Everybody taking orders, eating that slop. But they got full belly, Brother Nick. They don't want to eat our poisonous food. No, they don't. Basically, war. Dogma. We live in a country where 95% of the leaders worship the devil and effect what happened. Yes, Trump. Yes. That's the gag. That's what you're not supposed to see. Don't you know? You're not supposed to be aware of that. You're supposed to be knowing who's going to be the next American Idol. Who's going to be the chick on the swimsuit model. That's what you're supposed to know. You ain't supposed to know about that. Brother Nick, did you know that McDonald's in China doesn't even serve the same menu as the one? I'm sure it doesn't. The Chinese menus consist of over rice cake and soy sauce. Oh. Not surprised about Mueller either. And he got Epstein off with a slap on the wrist. Yeah, he's a sex offender, but did lose his money. Mueller was never a hero no, he wasn't. He's the best goon for the job. They're going by prophecy. Brother Ward, when you watch the movie, what was that? Clone Wars 2 by Star Wars. at the end of that, where when they're on these like speeders headed to Count Dooku's little lair for the final scene, someone said something about the prophecy, right? The Jedi prophecy, and Yoda basically said, prophecy misread, it could be. This is the danger of running after the past, running after what was written but unconfirmed by you who written it. The problem we often run into is that it could be misinterpreted. And we run into the problem with religion. If you ask about the interpretation, oh, you're a blasphemous heathen. Shut him up. Throw this fool out. Blind faith should only be blind once you have seen what you're dealing with. Then you can follow it blindly because you know. But a lot of people, they're following blindly a lot of doctrines that has zero to do with their soul's fitness, but everything to do with the people running the organization's economic fitness. Everyone keeps talking about these rappers or singers or whatever. How come all the churches haven't come together to make a financial co-op for their people? They're getting tax-free money. Instead of building these mega churches, they can easily build a savings and loan, invest part of the money so they have money coming in, and then give their parishioners interest-free loans so they wouldn't be accused of being money changers. Usury. We need to stop using the word religion. I can't find it in no book of the words because they've come together and I say to profit off the dump. Yes. Well, listen. A fool is easily separated from his money. As long as money is valued the way it is valued, it's almost naive of us to think people would deal with it the way they do. The preacher has dreams and aspirations. The priestess that's running the organizations has dreams and aspirations. And they're going to use your money to fulfill it. Churches are agents of the state. You promote our agenda, you get the pockets of that sweet money without taxes. Yes. That's the whole gag, murder. That's the whole gag, but you're not supposed to see that. You're supposed to be, my church is better than your church. My preacher drives a Lamborghini. My preacher drives a Bentley. That's what you're supposed to be. Well, we're going to get our preacher a jet. Well, we're going to get our preacher a yacht. That's what you're supposed to be. The preacher behaving in church is full to the brim, having people believe the lies, making them do things that they didn't do normally. You're right. Islam gives only 2%. Churches gives 10. Sometimes ain't right. Sometimes they even give more, Brother Al. They give 10% and their backside. They give 10% and their mouth. They give 10% and what's in between their legs. They give it all sometimes. But I'm sure we can find that in all religions, but, the Catholics is really having a hard go at it. Especially the ones in Africa making their people drink that weird drink. Churches is fear, racketing big business. Building fund, love offering. Don't forget the whatever fund. We're trying to get a new car, a new bus car, a new jet, new this. Think about the funds that they go back into the church. Have you heard of Stephen Derby? He passed recently. He was one of the few church leaders to speak out and inform his congregations about this world's conspiracy. Never heard of him, brother. Don't forget about the Mercedes-Benz Fund. Yeah. Preacher Day and First Lady's Day. Yeah. Don't forget. They're your kings and they're your spiritual queens. Now you want to talk about kings and queens, it's the preacher and the First Lady. That's king and queens, don't you know? People I'll check him out, brother. If you have a link, send me a link and we'll check him out. You gotta know, you gotta understand this, and once you understand this, everything's simple. The Most High God made man and woman. Man and woman made kings and queens. Men and women made bishops and popes and nuns. Men and women made all of these titles that we revere. Not the Most High, but man and woman did. Mostly man. The black church was the first tool post-slavery for controlling blacks in America. Yes. That's not debatable. All formal religions are a form of control, and they usually serve the political power in the region. That's just the reality. Now, if you want something better, and I know you do, if you want something rare, I know you do, you don't have to look towards nothing but what's in your heart. Most people in the White House are so-called Christians killing people every day. The key word is so-called. I can tell you that I am a warrior from planet Zanzibar. Okay? Am I? Am I really a warrior from Zanzibar? Hold on, let's see what this brother's talking about. Hold on, skip. Oh, what now, the bub?
We've been under a management system since Reconstruction. Reconstruction, of course, was what they were supposed to do after slavery. They were supposed to give us that 40 acres and the mule, and somehow they beat us out of the 40 acres and the mule. So they wouldn't want to reconstruct, because if you'd have gave us that, we'd have been the richest people in the world, because we did all the labor. So what could we done with 40 acres and a mule? So they didn't do that. But anyway, what they did do was they began to form a what we call a secret society, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. And it's really running everything now. And what I'm going to say today is going to really mess you up, because you remember when I taught you guys about abortion, the main way that abortion spread in the black community was that Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, said that she would use the black preachers to propagate it. The black preachers, remember that. They knew about it. She used them, and what the black preachers did was they didn't say anything. They didn't preach against it. And preaching against it is what needed to happen in order for the black people to wake up and realize this is just like sterilization. I mean, we can't lose people. Amen. This is the reason why the European cultures are collapsing and declining, because these other third world countries are having babies like you wouldn't believe. Eventually, the Muslims just breed out everybody, because they have 8, 9. You don't believe it? Go over here, and when the projects go over here, you see these Somalians, they come over here, they have 20 kids. They keep on going. For you know what, the whole wing of the whole project is theirs. That's what happened. They literally, by sheer numbers, they'll breed you out. Well, because of this eugenics, which was basically population control. That's the word you need to study if you heard anything I'm saying. Which Margaret Sanger was a big part of that, which was eugenics is what Hitler taught anyway, where he got his information from. Hitler got his information from the Americans, from Margaret Sanger, and the group that founded Planned Parenthood. And Planned Parenthood, is that right? Planned Parenthood. It was founded to decrease the numbers of who they called.
Everything he's saying, I said on the show.
People who really didn't contribute nothing to society, and blacks was on top, and then they had like retarded was on there, and there's different people that they felt was feeble-minded. They couldn't live. There's a story that just came out in South Carolina, where they just found out that they sterilized over 1,000 women. They just now about ready to pay them. This is way back in the 40s or 50s or something. But they found out that these women went to the doctor and didn't know they were sterilized. They got sterilized without telling them, and they didn't even know it. So there's always been a a plan to manage our communities. Amen. Thank you, son. Come on, give these young men one more hand. Thank y'all. Now I'm gonna just give you some wisdom, some knowledge, and some wisdom today, and I hope you go do your own studies, because this is the reason why we vote the way we vote. No matter what people do for us or don't do for us, we still don't get anything. We'll keep doing the same patterns over and over again, and we don't know why. Now listen, as big as America, there should be one spot in America where some black people are prosperous. It should be somebody rich, not just one or two people, and not just the celebrities. I'm talking about that, like, communities of wealthy, got our own everything. But every time, no matter what city I go in, no matter where I go, it's always the same. I know where the black part of town is, because this is when it starts getting rough looking. Cars get older. Y'all heard what I'm saying? And so when I was younger, I used to think, but it was just us, because after a while you think something's just wrong with us. And this is part of the conditioning. And you begin to think that, maybe we're just not able to make it. Maybe we need to be ruled. Maybe we need to have a master. I'm saying, but this is the mentality that we'll come up with if we don't understand what's behind this. So we have been played really for a long time with the racism. Racism is basically a tool to keep us from knowing who our real enemies are. And so we keep focusing on the same enemy. And racism in our community is a religion. It's a religion. Black people are just as racist. It's a religion for us. Hating is a religion. And you ain't even got to have color. We hate each other. So you can't even say black or white. We just don't like each other. The point I'm making is that the goal was to keep us focused on each other so we wouldn't see the bigger picture.
What he's basically saying is what I say on the show. And to answer your question, I haven't been in church in years. I don't know what they're saying up in there. I imagine it's the same old rhetoric that they have always said, not so many words. I'm just not, I'm not cool with the traditional images. Oh yeah, the brother was speaking facts, no doubt. No doubt at all. I like him. I'm actually going to save that link. All right.
This is an ad for project management tool called Monday.com.
But the thing is, hold on, right here. Oh, I once put contaminated foods, but they just show me puffer fish. What should be important for people to know, all right? That when you go and take communion and you eat that little wafer, it probably has Roundup in it. When you drink that orange juice, it probably has some, or wine or whatever, probably has some sort of pesticides in it. Now, you can't fake that away. You can't think that away. You really can't. You can try. But you're going to end up getting some nasty disease either way. Now, people always want to play these games when it comes to religion. And I get it. Your people think a certain way, so you're going to think a certain way. That's cool. Where I have a problem is when you take your little beliefs and you make them law. You take your little constructs and everyone has to participate in it. And what I mean by have to participate, if the banks are closed, you're participating in it. If the stores are closed, you're participating in it. Now, we all know that if you want to be real, if you want to go by the book, you have to go by the complete book. So then you riddle me this. If people are claiming to be religious and all that, then why are they working on the seventh day? How come they're not setting that aside for rest? One word. Work. They gotta work. Because if you don't work, your ass is going to be looking for a job and you're probably going to be going hungry. Because we all should be realizing food stamps, all that is getting cut. They are cutting military training for this wall or whatever they're using it for. A lot of people use religion as a spiritual insurance. Well, a lot of people, brother, are going to realize they were paying to the wrong insurance company. They're trying to shove in their face saying it's law. Question is, do they know what the Sabbath says? True, Brother Albert. They're cutting everyone. Your taxes, you pay taxes, you are participating. Yes, war? Absolutely. Every bomb that's being dropped, every child that was blown up and vaporized, every woman that was burnt up in her house, every man that was gunned down like a dog, yes, you're participating in it. And not to mention all the sneaky shit. Saturn's day. And isn't it funny how Saturn has that geometric pattern at the top of it? 6-sided deal. Looks like a box, a 3-dimensional box. And we still can't get a picture of Antarctica for some reason. There's always a composite. Never, we can just take a spaceship. The religion is crime. Definitely should be crime of the spirit. Look how many people have went to their graves believing in falsehoods. Look how many people have went to their graves believing sincerely that they believed the right deal. Totally lost, totally wrong. Because when you break it down, all these books, you got to ask yourself one fundamental question. Why didn't the Most High give the book to Adam right off the bat? Adam, here's this book. You read it. You ponder it. Because Adam was the one that kind of kicked it all off. Or Eve, however you want to look at it. Give them to the book that they could pass it. No, we're going to wait, generations up in here, and then we're going to throw something out. That sounds so felonious, just off top. If you are born into this world and your spirit isn't in line with righteousness, isn't in line with wanting to do the right thing, there's no book in the world that's going to save you. Now, it could save you from punishment. You could learn from the book, I ain't going to kill nobody. I'm not going to steal. But if in your hearts of your hearts, you still don't want to serve God, you still don't want to be a part of the kingdom, then what exactly are you doing? All the people affected by the mustard gas and innocent people killed by bombs. Right? Yeah. Adam didn't need it until Eve messed up everything. Everything was perfect in his day. Well, that really brings me to another question, Brother Murder. Would it be safe to say that Adam had a direct line to God, the Most High, the Father? Would it be safe to say that he had a direct line to him? Okay. Now, why is it later on in the Christian text, Jesus says the only way to the Father is through him? Why is that? I mean, if people prior to him being born could go straight to the Father, where does it say in the Bible or any other text that, okay, nobody can come to me, no one can holler at me, I won't communicate with nobody until Jesus comes, and then everyone who believes in him, they can holler at me? Because if you look in the Bible, there were tons of people that talked directly to God prior to Jesus' birth. Of course God is black, Brother Nick. We already said this many, many times on this show. This is not the chick off of Fox. Jesus is white and Santa Claus is Megyn Kelly. This ain't Megyn Kelly's show. Now, Adam was not the first person. Well, Trell, who was? Who was the first person? Sophie, I hate this delay. God relegated his struggles to Jesus and the devil, not him and the devil. Jesus was the new way to find salvation. See, that word new way, Africans. What, you're saying that Adam wasn't African? Because I'm saying that Adam and Eve had to be black. If not, then they were not the first people of the earth. Or if they were, then we're totally wrong about the evolutionary path of people on this planet. And now back to Brother Murder. That's one thing God doesn't do is new. He set something in motion. It's the same way all the way through. Remember, Brother Nick, black is white, and white is color. A prism tells the truth. God, I would just simply say that the Most High is. The Most High is. He's real. He's in control. And he has all the power. The reason why the dark forces, Satan, can't mess with him, because he would mop them up. So just like any coward, you can't beat up dad, so you gotta attack his children. Well, Nick, brother, the inside of you is darkness. There's no light inside your body. Your eyes understand light, but there is literally no light in your body. But then I ask you, Nick, where does the light come from when you dream? You see what I'm saying? Where does the light come from when you dream? When your eyes are closed, but you see light. You see the sun, you feel the sun. You can smell things, you can touch things. Deep state has us debating religion while they work on our demise. Amen to that, Sister Hunt. The English language was not invented when first. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Jesus was the best of God put in man's form. Remember his teachings. Jesus was the antithesis of the word as it is currently is. The light comes from the ether, the ethereal realm. Yes. But I'm trying to get you to see that your eyes and your mind itself creates the light. That's why you interpret light as light. That's why, the difference between a blind person and a person that can see. Like, for instance, everybody that sells out to the devil, check this out. Everybody that sells out to the devil, they get their little goodies. They get their little thing for now. But when they die, they have to fry. All right? They have to be with their father. That's why I say this earth is a huge achievement test. It's not for God's benefit. He already knows. He already knows every move everyone will ever make and has ever made. The reason why I can tell you the Most High loves us, he allows us, before we get the hammer put on us, or before we get the blessing put on us, why we're going to be the way it is. Why is it going to be the way it is? Because you can look back on your own life, look back on your own choices and say, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, I did that right. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I'm glad I did this. We are the ones in ignorance. We are the ones in darkness. And we are the ones desperately seeking place, meaning, and purpose. Heck, that bird that flew over your car and crapped on it today, it knows its purpose better than we do. The little worm that's in your garden right now, turning up the soil for you, a mini backhoe on a microscopic level almost. It knows its purpose, but we don't. But yet we claim to be the most intelligent being on the planet. I mean, how intelligent can we be when we have members of our species don't even know what to screw? How intelligent can we be when we have members of our species going out here purposefully polluting the planet to kill us? And how intelligent can we be if we don't even realize collectively an embryo becomes a baby, which is a human being? Of course, Brother Albert, this is all by design. Design, design, design. And I don't like this designer, because his designs is a mockery of what our Father would have us to be. His designs are a perversion of what the Most High would have your life to be. And the only one that can change this, the only one that can set your life on the right path, is you yourself realizing which path do you really want to take. Give the sheep nothing but instructions on how to enter the... Oh, wow. Brother War. Or Brother Murder. That is so true. And Brother War, I agree. That is facts by Brother Al. We had better come to the conclusion, and hopefully soon, but I fear it won't be soon, because I know God is going to do what he's going to do, irregardless of what these fools put in our head, try to brainwash us to believe. The smartest people in the world don't even have a clue about this. They don't, Truck. If you go talk to the smartest people in the world, they're going to laugh at you. Get out of here with that old Stone Age nonsense. We don't want to hear that. Now come back and holler at us when you know about some neutrons and protons. But until then, shut your ignorant ass up. That's what they would tell you, Truck. But the sad thing about it, you know the truth in your heart. You know the joy that when you're in the right spirit can befall you on the rainiest of days. It's all gloomy outside. Everybody snuggled up with hot chocolate and somewhere in the corner, and you're up there singing and dancing, filled with love, joy, and light, because you're in tune. That's what's the real kicker. That's why they can never really figure us out in these United States. How can you people still be happy at time to time? Don't you know how we're oppressing you? Because many of us are still in the spirit by nature, by natural. Didn't learn this. Wasn't trained to be like this. They'll let you know how many degrees they have. 360 degrees in a circle, yet 33 is the highest Mason. Please. They don't even believe in Jesus like that. They say 33 because they believe most of us fools will believe that Masonry goes all the way up to 360. Then starts again. What happened to Dimebag? Yeah, Sister Hunt, Dimebag's still cool. He's on his channel doing random BS. You know what I'm saying? He's still putting in his little work. They follow a system of false knowledge, which they made value. They built nations without one college degree. You know that. But here, we don't even want to open up a business with nobody unless they have doctor in front of their name. We don't want to do nothing unless people have been validated by the academic community. And rightfully so. I get it. Most people who have been trained academically perform their task well. But that's all they're doing, is performing a task. An earthly task at that. Correct. There are several other Masonic orders with degrees going as high as 99 and beyond. Let me ask you this question, speaking of Masonry. Now, you know, when a person goes into the Mason Lodge and gives a speech, they have to be a part of the Masonry. You don't go into a Mason Lodge and give a speech. You just don't. Then how did Martin Luther King go into a Masonic Lodge and give a speech if he's not a Mason already? You see the games they're playing? You see how when people get caught up in the image, all of these activists, all of these so-called leaders, they're all nothing more than actors, man. They're actors. They don't give a fuck about you murder. They don't give a fuck about you war. They don't give a fuck about you, Brother Albert. They don't give a fuck about you, Sister Hunt. They don't give a fuck about you, Sister CJ. They don't give a fuck about you, Trell. They don't give a fuck about none of us. And that's just where we're at. Now, we can keep on saying, oh, they love us. Oh, they want the best. But in reality, they don't want nothing from you but your labor, your time, and then your death. They don't even want to pay you Social Security. They can get around it. Uh-oh. Well, I got to end it right here tonight, guys. I got to go back here and holler at the wife real quick. Now I'm going to bed. But I just want you all, man, just thank you all for participating in the show. You know, when I come on, always random, but you guys are always here. And I just thank you for it. So as always, live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, let's be kinder to each other. Peace.